It has been a minute, but we are back. Rellism Raw Sports Talk, episode 129. Thank y'all for watching on YouTube. Subscribe. I see all these people watching. Subscribe. Thank you for the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Or the ones listening to us on the podcast. I'm rocking my Met stuff right now because we finally made the playoffs. But
y'all ain't gonna do nothing
right now.
Go Yankees, baby. Go Yankees.
We get smashed by this national bum Scherzer or whatever. Always love for Mamba and all the love for my mama. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and keep praying for my man Big Dave. Yo, it's getting better.
Yeah, is he getting better?
And better, yo. Just keep it going, yo. People said it couldn't happen, but it's happening. It's happening. You know what I'm saying? I got my man Skillet in the house. He's happy with rocking this giant stuff. They're out here 3-1. We'll talk about if they're real or not. And then I got GM Tommy out here, who I thought just ran a 5K, but he didn't. I was going to tell him that's my goals. I ain't trying to run nowhere. But it was his girl Val doing that. He was taking care of the kids. He did say he ran, 10? What did he say?
I rode my bike 10. I ride 10 regular.
I don't know if I don't believe that, huh, Skilla?
10. Maybe 6.
Shoot. I run 10 and then play ball. Or ride 10 and play ball.
I don't know. But look, I appreciate y'all being on right now. Tommy is doing the Facebook page. If y'all have not liked our page, done anything with our page, he's doing a hell of a job with it. Because on Rellism Sports Talk, we talk about sports from Hall of Famers to the local talent to the big time storyline. Yes.
Who was in last place, by the way?
Between these two episodes, I don't know who's going to be on for 1 and 2. I'm going to be on for both. If nobody else is, and Keith don't jump on, I'm still here doing my thing. But we're going to talk about week 4 big games and storylines with that. Last night's snooze fest. Then we got week 5's prime matchups, pretenders and contenders, and I bet you your Giants is in one of those. Fantasy football talk because Killer's out here doing things in both leagues. Me and Tommy struggling in one, but Tommy's killing the other one. And then we got roundtable talk, fantasy stuff, and the rest of the big time storylines. Y'all ready, fella?
Let's go. Let's get it.
Y'all like out here spread. Y'all ready?
Let's go. We ready. It's been a minute.
One thing before we start. This is what I love about the people that's involved in the show. We represent our teams no matter what.
Facts.
Chris has been talking about his team being official, and we laughed at him. And they out here doing a little something. We gonna talk about him. Now Tommy's gonna rep his team to the fullest, whatever. And his team's doing a little something on the other side.
Yo, that game last night though was.
You see that defense?
Oh my God, bro! I was so mad. Like it was lagging. Like a Call of Duty game, bro.
We gonna get to that one later. Let's start with week 4. We're gonna start because I was on Teague's take with George Teague. Of course, he's captain of the Star, defender of the Star. Cowboys Washington. Cooper Rush now is 5-0. Cowboys have snuck in there and they're 3-1. Cooper Rush is 5-0 as the starter. CD Lamb has got fantasy relevance now. My dumb butt and traded him for Deontay Johnson, who's gonna be irrelevant now, so I didn't mess my whole year up. So, Tommy, here in my opinion, should they rush Dak back? Because after this game with the Rams, which we'll talk about, they play the Eagles. When should they let him come back? Because it seems like they've been trying to get him to come back since last week.
Jerry definitely has been pushing the Dak as our guy. I think that's all it really is coming out of him. When I hear him say Dak needs to get back, what I'm really hearing is Dak's my starting QB. I don't care what this other guy's doing. But I really think that's going to be up to the health and training staff. I don't think he comes back early. As long as Cooper Rush is winning, he's not coming back early.
I hope.
But he will come back healthy.
What you think, Chris? Because I'm nervous that they're going to rush him back.
I think that they rush back. You know, they're gonna get a loss. They're gonna lose. You know,
because if they lose this week, and then if the way the Eagles are playing, I'm scared that they might try to rush him back for that Eagle game just to be like, you know what I mean?
I think that's what they're probably looking at because the Eagles being undefeated, they want their starting quarterback in there. So I think that's a mistake. I think they need to give this guy the opportunity. He's been winning, even though it's ugly wins, the W's regardless. I mean, it's another Garoppolo.
I mean, that's a good, that's a great comparison right there. That's a great comparison right there. He's not turning the ball over.
Facts.
And just giving it to your playmakers. That's a great comparison.
And the good thing about him is that he's spreading the ball to everybody. Everybody's getting to touch that ball, and that's what Dak doesn't do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, personally, he got his go-to guys, and this guy's in there, and he's just looking for anybody who's open. He's not just going for that target that's for that route. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
I don't know.
So with Zeke and Pollard, as far as us goes,
I think Pollard needs to start, bro.
But like Tommy said, Jerry Jones has his people. That's his baby. That's his baby, Tommy. How long is Zeke gonna be his baby? Because when I look at Pollard
next year, he's got next year as well.
Think Zeke's still relevant this year?
He's gonna Pollard is going. He may get a contract, but he might not get it in Dallas. But Zeke's got next year as well. Following that year, he's up for grabs a little bit more, and that's what Jerry's talking about. Jerry's strictly leveraging numbers when he's talking about who's his guy, and Zeke's his guy. He's going to ride Zeke to the end. Oh, he needs the jerseys to sell in the league.
So you think it's about money, merchandise?
It's the Cowboys. It's always it's the richest franchise in sports, right?
Okay. So what about on the flip side? My Washington Commanders. I hate saying Commanders. That's just
I know.
So we're 1-3. People had higher expectations for them, but we got to remember when your number one player on your team's not there, Chase Young, who is about to come back. And Brian Robinson, who got shot.
That's crazy, yo.
So, as a Giant fan, y'all are 3-1, top of the division. I mean, well, not the top, but
we're up there. Cowboys. Cowboys are because of the PF percentage, they're second.
Yeah, but y'all are both 3-1. So, as a Washington fan, with Brian Robinson and Chase Young coming back, do you think we have any chance to climb that mountain with you guys?
I think the Commanders may have some good potential, man. I mean, again, this goes down to playmakers, and if they can't, follow through with these fucking plays, it's just they're gonna crumble, and that's what they've been doing. They start good, and come third, fourth quarter, they just it's like nothing, man. They get their ass whooped.
And you said playmakers. Our number one playmaker, who
McLaurin is they're double teaming McLaurin.
Got out there, McLaurin. Tommy, where's he been at? What happened?
And he's having these drops. He's having these drops.
You named your issue, I think, with where McLaurin's at. I still see, when I watched your games, I'm still seeing McLaurin as the most talented player on the field.
I agree.
The majority of games he plays, he is super quick.
And they're not, and also they're just, the line is not giving Gibson enough.
We have the worst line.
Gibson is
your line is horrible, and you've got Wentz. I mean,
do you know his percentage per carry is like 2.1, if that?
I don't think you have any chance at winning a division with Wentz at quarterback. I think a lot of NFL defenses have figured that guy out. As soon as they figure out the scheme he's in, I mean, he's usually toast. And he's proven that.
We'll get back to Wentz later on. We'll get back to Wentz later on when we talk about Matt Ryan. We're going to do a little comparison with that. But there were some big games that I think that people are not talking about. There was 4 games in particular. I'm going to give them to you guys, and I want you to tell me which one was the worst loss as far as going forward, trying to make the playoffs. Because I think it's going to be tight in the AFC and the NFC amongst teams. So I'm going to give you the 4, and then we'll talk about it. First one was the Browns losing to the Falcons. So this is the second time they should have won. They should have beat Miami, and now they should have won this game. They lost. The Lions, who's the highest scorers team in football, Jared Goff, everybody loves him all of a sudden. They lost to the Seahawks with Geno Smith, who replaced Let's Ride Russell Wilson. And then the Colts, who just beat Patrick Mahomes in the cheek. Then you lose to Ryan Tannenbaum and the Titans. And then the last one is the Rams, who finally looked like y'all were getting things right. You lose to the 49ers, who just lost to Denver. Which one, Tommy, is the worst loss in your opinion?
I think the Rams and the way they got handled by the Niners defensively. The Niners really came in and big dogged them all day long.
I agree with that. I mean, that game was unreal. The way the 49ers played at home, they showed they were there to whoop some ass and beat the fucking and beat the
So
champions.
you think that's the same? You think the same game? You think the Rams is the biggest loss?
No, I don't. I think it's the biggest loss. I don't. I think there's. I think the
Look at
Browns was
Seattle's
a
record.
terrible loss. I think the Browns losing the last couple
Right.
games is an upsetting.
Right, because they're 2-2 now.
They're stacked.
The Browns,
they're stacked.
literally could be 4-0 right now with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. If you honestly, they really could be.
Yeah,
really could be.
Yeah.
Now they're 2-2 back in the flow. I think all these games right here, we're gonna look back at the end of the year, and it's gonna be that close. I think getting to the playoffs. I think it's gonna be within one game. You're gonna see a bunch of teams, and they're gonna be like, "Dang, I wish I would have." But here's my flip side. Chris. Going forward, the Browns, the Lions, the Colts, and the Rams, they all lost games they shouldn't have lost. Which one going forward you think is still have the best chance to get to the playoffs?
if Detroit keeps playing like they do, boy, Detroit is.
Why do you think?
They some sleepers, bro.
Or the points they're scoring? What is it?
I think they're all on the same page. They're communicating. They're working together. Defense is working great. Offensive line is blocking, giving enough time to get the ball off. Because Goff, he's deadly. He's a deadly quarterback if he's enough time. I believe so.
Okay.
I think Goff is a hell of a quarterback. He did great when he played for the Rams.
You realize the Lions are 1-3 now. Losing this dumb game to Seattle might be the. What you think, Tommy?
I mean, I don't think the Detroit's got that type of mobility.
Colts, Rams, Browns.
Rams.
I think Colts are hurting.
Rams are probably the biggest disappointment.
They still can get there. They still can get there.
And they could still get there.
All right, I wish Keith was on here.
You can't do the Lions with Goff behind him. I mean, the only thing that's holding me back on the Lions, and I think
Goff's doing better than Russell Wilson. Anyway,
what happens when Jameson Williams comes back? That's going to be kind of scary. Like I want to see that offense then. If it changes it and it's bad, that's one thing.
So you don't think Jameson Williams can enhance that offense?
They're flowing well right now. I'd be scared to start. I would hate to take targets from anybody in that offense.
You take DJ Chark out of the game. You remember St. Brown,
a security blanket,
Williams,
catches,
and Reynolds. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see
how it goes. But that offense is. I see why Lamar put them in the mix.
I'm scared of Jameson.
We'll get with Keith on the next episode, but I'm going to ask y'all anyway. The Steelers blew the game to the Jets. I don't even think that's the biggest problem. I think the biggest problem was putting Pickett in at the end of the game and then announcing that he would be the starter. My thing is, y'all are playing Buffalo the next week, which Mr. Trubisky played for last year. Why would you put Pickett in at the end of a game with the Jets when you still should win with Trubisky? And now Pickett has to go on the road to Buffalo. Go ahead, Tommy.
I mean, I think if anybody's got a best chance of embarrassing Mitch Trubisky, is the team that saw him every week last year, knows every one of his weaknesses. I might not want Trubisky.
You can't go vice versa? You can't go vice versa?
No. Trubisky's going to exploit the Bills' defense. Are you serious? Or the Bills are going to exploit Trubisky? That's my two options. And I might get Trubisky out the way of that steamroll.
You agree with that, Chris?
I think it's a good play.
You think Pickett coming in for Pittsburgh was smart, bringing the rookie in now?
Oh, absolutely.
You like that too? Okay.
I like that. Yeah. Sometimes rookies need to just be put in there because they're ready, bro.
Well, he's like 28, so.
I'll tell you one rookie I
Regardless.
I wish the boy in Atlanta would play because Marcus Mariota ain't getting Kyle Pitts snowballs. Now Kyle Pitts talking about I'm hurt because he's tired of going out there getting one catch and having to hear about it. That's why he's
I've got him in my family league.
He really hurt. He really hurt. He's trying to be.
I think a lot of these players are doing that nowadays because, they're not seeing enough. They're not seeing enough of. They want TDs. They want to be seeing the ball. They're star players. They need the ball, and that's what they're there for. Yes. And that's not just him. That's a lot of players this year. There's a lot of players. That's a lot. Miami. My ankle hurt.
Let's get into it, Tommy. You ready?
No.
Last night's snooze fest. Last night's snooze fest. I'm falling asleep with drool with a tissue on my mouth like this. Only reason why I'm watching it is just because of the bets I made.
What a terrible game, bro.
Second one.
Anyway, so last night's game.
Second primetime game.
They were showing off the kickers.
Guess what my parlay was for the correct score last night? It was 16-12. and these niggas didn't even score 16. I was mad, bro.
So here's my question: was it because the Denver defense is official? ES2 is official. Their defense is official. They took a couple injuries. I don't know how that's going to work. GM Tommy.
Barron's not that hurt. We'll be all right.
The Colts defense is not bad. They got some players out there too. So was it more, Tommy, of the players on defense, or is Russell Wilson and Matt Ryan over the hill and they need to hang them up?
No, I think I'm blaming that game on Nathaniel Hackett again. We saw it week 1.
Another game?
Oh, there's like 3 this season. It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly to the point where, as a steadfast Broncos fan, and I am really wanting to keep this guy for the entire year because that's what you do for a first-year coach. If he continues
this black head coach got fired after 1 year.
If he continues this route, he might not make it past 5. I mean, that might be the week he goes because Everett's defense is rocking, and he could easily take over this team as a head coach. We can get somebody in to call the plays. Russ can call the plays. We got 250 million. We got 2. He's not doing it right now.
Russ called the plays.
They are running. They ran on the interception and on the first trip to the red zone. They're running streaks twice in the third in 3 downs. Running streaks up the middle. It's just bad. His play calling's bad. His decision making's bad. We run the ball at the end of the game. Admittedly, he didn't make that decision. He didn't make that call. He did not make the call to do any of this.
Tommy, stop it. Tommy,
that's what
stop.
We have hired
is Russell Wilson going to go in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Okay, so you're telling me a Hall of Fame quarterback can't make that call with a rookie?
No. Nathaniel Hackett didn't even make those calls.
Russell Wilson get audible out of anything. They're coming from a
game
he
manager.
Audible out of anything, Tommy.
This
audible
might be done.
Out of anything? Yes.
Oh, he can only audible. He can only audible. And he can only audible because his plays aren't coming in. And they're not giving him good ones. They ran a freaking pick play 12 yards in. You don't think he remembers that for the touchdown to win the game?
He threw another pick that cost him.
Exactly.
Richard Sherman was on the broadcast. Did y'all watch the broadcast? Go watch Richard Sherman get in his
before Russ.
He got in his ass. He let all his feelings out from Seattle, not running the ball with Marshawn Lynch. It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Not as embarrassing as the fans leaving the field, leaving the arena when overtime ain't even started.
That kind of disappoints me.
That's
not embarrassing. That's not embarrassing on the players. As a Washington fan, though, that wouldn't embarrass you. That didn't embarrass you because
it embarrassed me watching Denver.
No, it didn't embarrass you because the team was so bad, though. Because you watch bad games. You're embarrassed for the fans and the way they did it. That's how spoiled we were.
But for y'all,
I did not leave. I know what happened.
Russell Wilson played like crap. They booed him all night, and the fans left.
They did it last week too. They booed him the week before that too. They booed us every single time.
You're not worried about that? And so you're telling me Russell Wilson has nothing that he can do to change any of that?
Walmart did not pay Hackett. Walmart paid Russell. They did. They signed Russell.
You better give him a red light special, yo, because you got ripped off with Russell Wilson. Ripped off.
I'm not afraid.
Look at Daniel Jones out
I'm not calling 5 games in. I'm done with the Super Bowl winning.
Oh, you're done. You want to know why you're done? Because your best player, Javonte Williams, is out. Melvin Gordon is a bum. He's over the hill. He's done. He was crying in the press conference. Talk about his fumbles. He was crying in the press conference. He couldn't even talk.
Oh, I'm not a fan of Melvin.
He's done. Your team's done. Jerry Jeudy is a prima donna. That's why I traded him.
Why are we done, though? Because the Chargers are playing that well or the Raiders are that good?
Well, we'll get to them.
All right.
Chris, so we looked at both teams. We know how bad Denver is. Everybody dogs the Colts. Matt Ryan might be the worst quarterback. We'll get to if he is the worst quarterback. Was Carson Wentz the reason that the Colts lost? Because I'm looking at Matt Ryan. He was supposed to be the savior of the team. Is it the team or is it the coach that's about to be out of here?
No.
I think it's a little bit of both, bro. I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, the coaching, for one, you're coaching your players to make these plays and they're not performing. I mean, I mean, come on, man. You're a fucking $1 million paid coach. You got to make these plays happen, bro.
He won a Super Bowl as a coordinator with the Eagles. He thought he was hot stuff. Same thing with Denver's coach. I think they're hot stuff. I feel like they're both on the hot seat right now. Right now. Really so I'm going to ask you, Tommy, right now. Sean Payton.
Who's the first to go?
Coach. Sean Payton will coach next year somewhere. Yeah. We all thought it was going to be Dallas. We all thought it still might be Dallas. Which team would fit in better, the Colts roster or Denver's roster for Sean Payton?
Oh, Denver's roster.
Of course, Denver. Of course, you say Denver.
No, because of the defense. Sean Payton's a defensive coach, and our defense is way better set up for the next 5 years than anything Indy's going to put together.
But
I've got to shut down Porter and 2 blitzing linebackers for 5
Didn't you just say you need an offensive coach?
You said who would Payton be better with?
Don't you need an offensive coach?
Denver is who Payton would be better with.
The reason why Sean Payton was successful because Drew Brees could command the offense. He was
not
like Russell Wilson can't do that.
With a limited
Russell Wilson's not that guy.
Kind of like a
Russell Wilson's not that guy.
You have been on this Russell hate train since week 1.
No, it's not hate. It's real.
It's not real. Up until these 5 games with the brand new season up until these 5 games with a brand new season and a brand new system, this guy has played like a top 3 QB. You can't deny it. He's got Super Bowl rings.
Are you kidding me?
He's got wins. He's got rings, and he's got stats.
That he was
over the last 10 years, you can't beat it. There's no quarterback outside of Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady and not even Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. That's the list with Russell that play in the league right now. Dude, so you're talking about. I'm glad you think he sucks, but he's better than both of y'all's QBs by 10 QBs.
Really?
Yes. And there's not a GM.
Hey, we still got more wins than y'all.
I'm looking at the teams. Yes, my team sucks. The Giants are 3-1. 3-1, the Giants are. With Daniel Jones, and I coached that I told y'all, a coach and Dabble that I told y'all was going to turn it up. I said it before the season started. That coach of the Giants was going to change things in there. And
I said it.
Look at the Giants wide receivers. Look at the Giants wide receivers. Kenny Galladay.
Daniel Jones is not the reason they're winning.
Gone.
Carson Wentz isn't the reason they're winning.
Your best wide receivers out for the year. How are the Giants winning, Chris? How are the Giants winning? I know Saquon Barkley came back like
he has the number one. Saquon Barkley is leading the league in yardage. Period. He is. Yes, that's how they're winning. It's really easy to see. They have the league leader in yardage. Oh, that's how they won 3 freaking games.
And our defense is a sad. Our defense is getting turnovers.
So hold on. I want to hear what you say, Chris. The Detroit Lions have the highest scoring offense in the league, and they're 1-3. So don't give me that shit.
No.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, but what player is?
Our defense is making plays, bro. Our defense is turning balls over, and we're getting it in the end zone. The defense is giving us those plays. It's giving us those turnovers.
Chris said we're getting it in the end zone. That's what Chris said. You know what the difference is? Chris's coach went for it on 4th down and overtime, whatever, and got it in and scored and won the game. Your coach, after when y'all kicked it in Seattle, which everybody knew he should have kicked it, he turned it back in the press conference and said, I'm going to put it on Russell Wilson this time. And he threw nothing a pick and lost the game. That's the difference. Don't play that.
You're right.
He threw Russell under the bus in the press.
And if we would have won this week, that's right. We would have won that game on that play. And if they lose this week, we will have the same record. You are correct.
If y'all would have won, y'all would have been 3-2.
That play.
And we still would have said,
that one play is the difference
between
that superstar team.
And he stole money from John Elway and Peyton Manning.
All the credit you just gave the Giants, you just made Denver one play away from happening. Thank you.
Get the fuck out of here. Shut up, Tommy.
Hold on. Tommy.
That's what you just said, bro.
If Denver would have won that game.
You just said they went for it on 4th down.
They did.
They did too. And we didn't complete it, and they did.
Okay, stop.
If they lose this week,
if the Giants were 2-2 right now, I'd still be like, they should be feeling good being 2-2.
Because they play in y'all division.
In the year, we didn't think they'd be 2-2. You guys, if y'all were 3-2 right now, I'd look at y'all and be like, y'all still fucking suck. Russell Wilson still fucking sucks. And he stole all y'all's money. And now Sierra's going to buy new wardrobe because y'all got Sam Schwartz.
That's what you said at week 2, though.
But
so I can understand you now. I can understand you. I can understand you if you jumped on this train now, being like, "Look, man, they showed me that." But you've been saying this since week 2. You've been
but it's the same.
You can't feel this strongly yet. You can't feel this strongly.
What's changed, Tommy? What has changed?
I've said it since the beginning. I have said it since week 1, and you can check it out. There will be an adjustment.
No, week 1 you didn't get on the show because you were embarrassed because Geno Smith molested y'all back. That's why you didn't get on the show week 1 because Geno Smith is on y'all like they tried to
no,
whatever. But I ain't answering the call.
Before week 1. You can check it before week 1. Then I said it since preseason. I was like,
what adjustments, bro? Because the adjustments clearly
are
making them
lose.
There has been 0 adjustments.
They still losing.
There has been 0 adjustments play calling. I'm telling you, I watch every game. You guys,
so you telling me every game they're playing, they're making the same calls?
Huh? How many minutes of Broncos football has either one of you dissected?
Tommy, let me ask you a question. Because
they are not making adjustments.
Week 1, we also saw the Vikings beat Green Bay. And we saw Green Bay struggling. And we were like, yo, Green Bay, man, they just don't look right. As the weeks keep going, we see some kind of progression between the wide receivers. I don't see no progression with Denver. None. No progression.
Sutton up until last week, slow week, was 3rd in the league in reception yardage.
Oh, you got
3rd in the league in yardage. If you take away not this current Thursday, but the week before that, if you take away that 50-yard 1 touchdown performance, he is in 3rd in the league in yardage.
Sutton, dude.
I said that preseason too.
Who cares about Sutton? Sutton ain't getting W's. The Giants are getting W's.
Facts.
And if you look at the Giants,
they are 1 win over us. If they lose this is all I'm saying. When you look at the teams and you look at the rosters and the teams they played against.
Week 5, week 6. And you look at the teams they played against. I'm looking at all of that. The teams you play against and the rosters. You talk about Saquon Barkley's the leader rush. Okay, but then we still looking at Daniel Jones, who y'all have said many times on this show that he's not even going to be an NFL starter. And we looking at all the wide receivers that are nobody's there. Kenny Galladay got when he was at? No. The star receiver out here gone. The tight end gone. He's in Jacksonville. All these people are gone, but the Giants keep winning. You got
Evan
all
Ingram
these star receivers.
We laughed about the signing with Evan Ingram. He was a detriment to the team.
Can't win.
No, Evan Ingram was a detriment to the New York Giants. It's good that he's not on the roster anymore. We will not act like that. Oh, get that big free agent list, whatever.
I love how you pick the tiniest
and Daniel Jones isn't the reason they're winning. And he wasn't last year, and he wasn't the year before.
Why are the Giants winning?
Saquon Barkley.
One guy.
And an offensive line. They drafted well.
Y'all got Saquon Barkley
on the offensive line.
He's got Cortland Sutton. One guy's going to make a difference.
Saquon Barkley is making a 1-game difference. Thank you.
How many games of the Giants have you even
watched? 1
game.
We ain't winless. We're not the Raiders. We're talking to the wrong spot.
All I'm saying is, I don't know how it's happening.
I mean, we might have lost to the Raiders.
How it's happening.
The team that just beat us beat the Chiefs. How bad are the Chiefs?
How bad are the Chiefs?
The team that just beat us beat the Chiefs.
Oh, you trying to play that? See,
the Colts. I'm serious.
You are Skip Bayless. You trying to do shit like that?
Who y'all lost to?
Stop that.
Who you lost to?
You know why? Stop that. Because the Colts also tied.
Who you lost to?
The only team that hasn't won a game yet.
Speaking of the Giants,
don't try to play.
Who the Giants lost to?
Stop. Don't try to say
who did the Giants lose to. I don't know. I'm serious.
But they also tied the Texans.
Who did the Giants lose to?
Wins.
Who did the Giants lose to? I don't know.
Huh?
Who did the Giants lose to? I don't know.
Who did the Giants lose to?
I'm checking right now. I forgot.
Know. I didn't expect the Giants to be 2-2, much less 1-3 or 3-1. Shit.
Because we do have the Geno Smith trap game, and I called it from the beginning.
The trap game.
The trap game in Seattle. No preseason.
He came in a prom suit.
Oh, it was so ugly. It was so ugly.
Tommy, I love your passion. I love your passion. But I feel like this is about love for Chris because on the board and on the first episode before the season started,
we lost to Dallas, bro.
That his team was going to win the division.
He said not going to win
the division. He said Saquon Barkley was going to win comeback player of the year. Chris called all this shit.
And I did say I agreed with him on the
Your stuff that you called are looking like
bullshit.
Yeah,
bullshit.
exactly.
I might even be able to take back
the
Cowboys thing. I might even be able to take back I honestly think if we make a midseason change, I'm taking back the Green Bay off the Super Bowl and putting the Cowboys back on it. The way Micah's playing, y'all crazy. That's how that.
But the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl now.
Still win those Super Bowl.
Oh my God! I'm not gonna get into week 5 until the next one. I'm gonna round table with you guys. Actually, while Chris is on here, I'm gonna do some fantasy real quick. So, Chris, right now, fantasy, you're 2-2. You play Drew, who's the division lead. How you feeling?
I feel like I'm gonna get a motherfucking W, yo.
Why though? Why? I've seen your team. I've seen his team.
Yeah. Honestly,
Drew got so lucky.
man,
Drew,
lucky.
you're watching. Fuck you, Drew. Fuck you. When all your Raiders on your team ain't doing shit, you let Lamar Jackson out here tearing up the league.
Right.
I think since he's gonna give Lamar Jackson a nice ass whooping.
Yo, I don't know if he can give him an ass whooping, but I think it's gonna be a great game, which we'll talk about in the next episode. Tommy, you are 1-3. You play Mustache Kev.
Well, I might lose this week too because I went all in on Denver. I had to do something to change it up.
Why would you go in all on Denver?
Because they lost Javante, so I was a trade away with Sutton. I don't like Michael Thomas. I think Michael Thomas is on a big down.
He can't stay healthy.
No, and I think Aaron Jones might be replaced by week 12. As far as
don't say that.
As far as the reception leader, that's what's scary. I think they'll still split, but they might start splitting receptions at 2.
Do you feel bad about your team in Raw?
I
do. I feel like our team's.
You know what I hate? This is the second year in a row for the same league. The T League was in the Raw League this year, where Russell Wilson's really starting to hurt me.
Right. So why would you ever fucking have Russell Wilson ever?
But I had Justin Fields. I didn't give up Justin Fields. I gave up Justin Fields for Russell.
Russell Wilson's a problem. Yo, Russell Wilson's such a problem. Yo, Russell Wilson's such a problem. Last year in one of my other leagues, he was my starting quarterback. I took him out, and in the playoffs, I ran with Trey Lance and won a championship. That's how busted Russell Wilson is. That's how busted he is.
I think I got keepers, though. I had that last pick.
You ain't got no keepers at all.
Garrett Wilson in the 6th.
So we talked about the worst quarterback. Tommy thinks that Matt Ryan's the worst quarterback. Is Baker Mayfield worse than him? No. You think Matt Ryan's the worst quarterback in football?
Did you see what Denver did to him last night? I had a second year.
I saw Denver lose.
Both quarterbacks looked like shit last night. What are you talking about?
They dumped the route every 2 seconds in.
They both looked like shit last night, man.
You want for Alec Pierce?
Chris, hold on, Chris. Let me say one thing. Chris, this is what I love about Tommy. We talked about the game last night and how bad it was offensively, right, for both teams. He will say that Matt Ryan got destroyed by Denver's defense, but Russell Wilson just needs to figure it out with his team and nothing for the Colts.
Russell Wilson looked like shit.
Nothing for the Colts defense. It's because Russell Wilson's trying to figure out things.
I didn't say nothing about Colts. I'm going to call out our
Come on,
Matt Ryan. I wasn't saying nothing about Denver's defense. I was calling out Matt Ryan.
Is the Colts defense elite?
No.
Why did Russell Wilson look like shit then?
Because Denver's not playing well. Russell Wilson's a lot better quarterback than Matt Ryan currently. But he's on a brand new team with a brand new scheme.
But Matt Ryan's playing against the elite defense.
Is that what we're going with, Tommy?
I can't believe you're blaming all the failures on Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson is the $45 million quarterback.
You can put the money on his head, but you can't put the game on that man's head.
The quarterbacks,
those plays suck.
And they get all the love.
You won't find an analysis out there.
Play caller. He is the audible caller.
They're calling for Hackett's job.
He's not getting the defense like he should.
I'm not alone.
He looks confused out there. He looks confused.
He does not like it.
He looks like
he does not.
It looks like he does not trust his arm. I promise you.
Not his arm. I promise you, he does
not
look like
he doesn't run no more.
Dude,
he don't
how many times did he overthrow his players last night?
No,
bro?
It was his
so many.
He was late. Yeah. It wasn't that he was overthrown. He was late.
Yeah,
no, he wasn't.
Why are you late? Because you don't understand.
He did not trust his receivers. That's not an arm problem.
You're blaming on Judy.
He does not trust Judy at all. At freaking all. That freaking long bomb to Sutton. There was two. I wouldn't trust it either.
Chris,
there was two players in the same.
Watch this, Chris. I was like, oh my god. He does not trust Judy.
What the fuck are you calling?
The game. Hold on. The game was in overtime. He could have kicked the field goal, right? They said, no, we're going for it. Let's ride on 4th down.
You know why you don't do that? I hope you do that.
He threw it to Judy. He got it picked. I don't trust
you know what happens?
Game would lie with Judy.
Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens if you kick the field goal right there?
Gambler coming in was wide open.
The most was wide open. Win for? Do you know what you win? You know what you just went for? The tie. You don't win that game.
It's overtime. So what?
You went for the win. I'm loving that. That's the only part of the game I like. Was he went for the fucking win.
If you're going for the win,
I don't care
if you're going for the win,
I don't care if I had Daniel Jones.
You should have went for the 4th down then. You should have went for the 4th down.
Who made that call?
I don't think it was Daniel Jones in my quarterback.
You can't do it, Flopper. Fish out of
I know. On fourth down in overtime or in the
week
regular?
1, it was fourth down in minimal. No one put 60-some-yard field goal.
I would have
go for the win.
That was the win. The field goal was the win.
You know he ain't kicking that.
You can still go to the overtime. I wouldn't have done it. I would have gone for the
Tommy.
I didn't say he should have done that. I said we
Tommy, would he have kicked that?
Can McMahon?
Could he have kicked that, Tommy?
Yeah, he's got the fucking. He's got a 61.
Tommy, you really believe that? No. I see the smile on your face. I see the smile on your face.
No, I believe McManus can hit a 64. I wouldn't have done it to win the game.
Chris, he'll never
get in. Put it into overtime.
So as the year goes on, as they keep losing and losing and losing, I'll just smile and say, Tommy,
up there with Greg the Leg.
Still love it.
He's still up there.
We got 2.5 minutes left. 2.5 minutes left. I want to ask you guys real quick, fantasy players. Who's going to be your fantasy QB of the week?
Oh, shit. Oh, I know. Lamar.
Go ahead. Lamar against the Bengals?
Bengals have nothing for Lamar.
What the hell?
Okay, who you think, Chris?
Watch Burrow put up 35 points.
Second level speed.
I hope I got him. I'm going to
watch Burrow. Watch Burrow put up 35 points.
I think I'm playing. Am I playing here? In the big league?
Lamar only has to run for 100 yards to get 35 points.
I picked Josh Allen against the Steelers.
No touchdowns.
I picked Josh Allen. Running back. What running backs will be the leader of the week?
Oh, shoot.
Oof.
I'd have to look.
Is it Saquon?
It could. I don't know, man. Green Bay ain't that good this year. Nah, their defense ain't that good.
Green Bay's defense? It's the only reason they win.
And they stopped the run, though.
Green Bay's defense is
I picked Robinson for the Jaguars against the Texans. That's what I picked.
I see Giants having 2 picks this weekend.
Against Rodgers, I love it. I love it. I hate Aaron. Yo, I just talked to Nikki Garr. She's a Giants beat writer. And I said that I hate the Giants, but I want them to beat Aaron Rodgers.
I think he's going to throw 2 picks, and he's going to get sacked 4 times.
Chubb is going against the Clippers. I forgot about the Browns. The Chargers. The Chargers can't stop anyone.
I said Chubb. Yeah, Chubb is a good pick. Wide receiver. What wide receiver is going to show out this week? Is Jason going to show up against the Ravens because their defense sucks?
Cooper Kupp
against who are they playing? The Cowboys?
Mike Evans.
Who?
Mike Evans.
I thought Mike Evans too.
Maybe 2 touchdowns.
But I picked Devontae on Monday night against the Chiefs. I think he's probably like, yo, I'm trying to shine. I need my shine. Hunter Renfrow might be coming back and take a little bit off of him a little bit. Monty Adams. And it might be my upset of the week. We'll see. Who's coming back round 2? I know Tommy is. Chris going to sleep.
Oh, what?
Told you.
Hey, you already know what it is. Look.
Tommy, I see in a minute. We got to do week 5 and some more fantasy